Good day. So today I'm going to teach about factorizing by groupings. So what is factorizing by groupings? So factorizing by grouping simply means that if there are four terms, we're going to group them into twos, right? So I group them. So after grouping them, we factorize the first one as though the other half does not exist. Then when we're done factorizing this part, we now factorize this part as though the first one does not exist. So let's proceed. So what's the highest common factor when we group the first one? So what's the highest common factor? The highest common factor there is 3, right? Then in terms of letters, we're gonna have A appears but not in all places, right? What about C? C appears in both places, so it's gonna become C. Now when we divide them, when we say 3AC divided by 3C, the 3's will cancel, the C's will cancel, and we'll be left with A. Alright, so now let's divide this by that. So when I have 3CD divided by 3C, so the 3's will cancel, the C's will cancel, and we'll be left with negative D. Now let's factorize the other half. Now notice if there was a positive, if there was a negative in front of the first one, I would have factorized negative. But because there is a positive, I would factorize positive. So now here there is a positive, so I factorize positive. Now what's the highest common factor for numbers? So the highest common factor is 4. Then with letters, B appears everywhere, so it's B. Then let's divide. So 4AB divided by 4B, the B's will cancel, the 4's will cancel, and it will be left A. Then let's divide negative 4BD by 4B. Then the 4's will cancel, the B's will cancel, we'll be left with negative D. So there we have it. Now if you see the brackets looking the same, right? You see this bracket looks the same as this one. We just write it once. We write A minus D, and what's in front of the first bracket, we write it down. What's in front of the other bracket, we write it down. So that's how it is. We just write it once and we open the other bracket and write whatever is in front of the brackets. Just before I continue, if you want to be tutored, either online or physically, online it doesn't matter where you are or which country you are at, you can still be tutored. So we offer cheap online lessons, and if you want to be tutored physically, we can still make an arrangement. So call or WhatsApp this number, but preferably please WhatsApp this number, and then we will take it from there. So what I do is that I tutor people 5 days a week online, and I give tests once a week so that I can check your improvement. Now notice we could have actually even grouped this with this, right? And this with this. So let me just show you to bring the same answer, the exact same answer. So let me group them. So I'm going to group this together with that. So I will take this and I take this together with the sign in front of it, right? So I'm going to write 3AC, notice it comes from there. Then I write this together with the sign in front of it, so it becomes 4AB. So notice I'm not putting this in place of this and writing the negative. I'm not doing that, right? I'm not copying down the signs that was in front, that was next. I'm not doing that, right? Because some people will write negative there. I'm not doing that. So basically what I'm doing is I take this together with the sign in front of it, right? So that's what's going on there. So I group them. Then I'm gonna take this together with the sign in front of it, and I'm gonna write it down here, right? Then I take this together with the sign in front of it, then I'm gonna write that. So there I group them, right? So this A, B there, right? So now let's factorize it. So what's the highest common factor there? The highest common factor, there's no highest common factor for numbers. So what about letters? There is. So we write A. Then when we divide 3AC by A, if we say 3AC divided by A, the A's will cancel out and we'll be left with 3C. Then if we say 4AB divided by A, the A's will cancel out and we'll be left with positive 4B. Then let's factorize this part. So notice there's a negative, so I'm going to factorize negative. What's the highest common factor? For numbers there isn't, but with letters there is. It's actually D. It appears everywhere. C doesn't appear everywhere, B doesn't appear everywhere, so that's why I don't take them. Now negative 3CD, okay, it's 3CD divided by negative D. The negatives gives you the negatives will cancel out, right? And the d's will cancel out, so we'll be left with 3c. So negative divided by negative is positive, right? So we'll be left with positive there. And then now negative 4bd divided by negative d. Negative divided by negative is positive, and then the d's will cancel and we'll be left with positive 4b. And notice the brackets are the same once more. So what do? We just write them down and we group this. So a minus d. There, exactly the same answer. So at times we can group them anyhow. Then there are other situations where we can't group them anyhow. Maybe when we group the first pairs, there won't be common factors, but when we group the other ones, there will be common factors. So usually we group them in such a way that we'll be able to factorize part by part.